Hello everyone and welcome back to Satisfactory. Today we are starting Phase 5. Welcome back. Last episode we left off with crafting the thermal propulsion rockets, and as you can see up in the top right, I may or may not have just kind of sat around for maybe like 45 minutes waiting for those to be crafted so we could just shove in the next couple, or wait like 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes, more like 3 minutes until that's done. So we're gonna go ahead and wait the 3 minutes so we can get Phase 4 complete, and that's going to be the first thing we do. Now the goal for this episode is going to be get a little bit of the next tier of conveyor. If I can get the research acquired and make a couple of the base components, we can start constructing the absolutely massive 40 fuse modular frames per minute factory, because we can extract the full amount of resources out of the pure nodes. That is the only reason I need to get to Phase 5, just because of the conveyors. Now, I also don't need to make a lot of the conveyors. I need to make a very short one, because all I need to do is have enough distance to get from the drill to a splitter, and then I can just split it 2 ways and use the Mark V conveyors, because they will make 1200 a minute. Split in 2 ways is 600, and these can do 780. So I don't really need a whole lot of the Phase 5 conveyors, I just need enough to build on all of the pure nodes over here, which is essentially the exact same thing that I'm doing with turbo motors and fuse modular frames at the moment, which is just make what I need. But as it's looking, we are almost there, so I guess we'll just wait just a little bit, and it also seems that we will be needing to get 1, so we will have 4 extras whenever this comes in, so gonna have to wait another minute and a half. I guess while we're waiting, we could also just take a look at any research. I haven't really looked in here in quite a while. Anything interesting that I can get? Although, you know, I do have a lot of Mercer spheres. Maybe we should just go max out some of these. I only have 36, so I don't want to use all of them, but let's see, 23, 23, and 13. You know, a stack size increase would be pretty nice, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and grab this real quick.
Dimensional expansion increased to 400%. Parts can now be stored as elementary particles in a hyperdense deconfined state. Normally, I'd explain the basic science, but I don't think this one can be simplified enough for you to understand.
We composed a growth song, but you composed a shrink song, so we remain silent. The dance of your bones and organs and veins amuses us.
I understand. Seeing the pioneer perform tasks also amuses me.
Okay, Ada, you know what? We're going to have some words after this, but I'm not going to waste all... Well, I don't want to say waste, but I'm not going to use all 23 of my Mercer spheres on the next piece of research, because I kind of need some, probably. So, yeah, you know, maybe someday we should just come in here and just, like, complete this entire thing. I mean, we're just going to need some more Mercer spheres. We're going to need singularity cells and a lot of power shards. We're going to need some basic Caterium resources. I mean, this is a piece of cake. We're going to need time crystals, I think those are. Crystal oscillators, which I still don't have a factory for, which I will be doing at some point in the future. And I think some uranium stuff to get to that guy. But the rest of this is pretty easy to do. So, yeah, we'll be doing that at some point. But if you go ahead and take a look in the top right, 250 out of 250, we are officially done. Let's go ahead and seal this up. Listen to Ada talk about it for 10 minutes.
Welcome to the Pioneers Got Power Problems presentation. That was a joke.
It wasn't.
Anyway, you're familiar with the process. Just throw the lever and the automated systems will take over. Imagine all the time and effort that would be wasted if you had to do all that work as well. Some work is just better suited for machines. Phase 5 contains technology the human brain cannot comprehend.
What?
So just trust in me and Fixite policy and everything will go as planned.
Uh-huh.
Answering all your questions will take time we simply do not have. Everything is going to be just fine, so long as you do your job. We've come this far together after all, haven't we? Anyway, you know what to do. Just don't forget to keep producing previous project parts, and plan ahead when setting up new production lines, and make sure not to leave it all until the last moment.
Oops. Guess who left it all until the last minute? It was me. But you know what, Ada? You know what? I feel like you would be proud of me, because let's just go take a look over here. Oof. That's a lot of assembly director systems. That's pretty good. But these thingies right here, I do not have a real factory for, and we're probably going to need them for... You know, if I had to guess, we'll need them for the, what was it, ballistic warp drive? Totally not a missile TM. Yeah, we'll probably be needing a bunch of those. And I have a feeling those ones are the ones that are actually worth the most sync points. I think I've heard that somewhere. I don't know how much they are, and I might just want to look this up at some point, but we'll see. Okay, anyways, let's get to phase 5, shall we? Woo!
Phase 4 of project assembly completed. If style was measured in my performance reports, yours would be something special. Regardless, saving the day is within our grasp. Do not lose focus now. You must understand the weight on your shoulders, but you are not alone. I am here, and I know exactly what's at stake. This goes beyond Earth. Your actions will affect the universe at large. You might think I am exaggerating. Perhaps you will understand once you finish project assembly. Phase 5 awaits. I expect your best work.
Well, that's good, because I plan to use my best work. It also looks like there is a large propulsion engine right there, and is that another ship in the middle? Are you sure we're building a space station here? I guess it was never really specified what we're building up there, but this looks like a ship. I don't know, but we're also attaching ballistic warp drives in there. Totally not a rocket TM. I guess, you know, to be fair, ballistic doesn't usually mean missile, but when I hear ballistic, I think of, yeah, ICBM. That's a missile, by the way. But taking a look in the top right, we need 1,000 nuclear pasta. I should have set something up for that. That's a problem to be solved later. 1,000 something. I don't know what that is. 256 something. I don't know what that is. And that 200 at the end there is ballistic warp drives. Okay, let's take a look at the hub. What do we have? Tier 8 is already done. Tier 9, just these 5 things. Matter conversion, quantum encoding, Mark III blueprints, spatial energy regulation, and peak efficiency. Okay. Okay, you know, maybe the dream of getting to Mark VI conveyors on this episode is simply not going to happen. We need these things. Fixite trigon, made from Fixite ingots, perfectly shaped for all construction challenges. Well, I guess it is a triangle. I guess that makes sense. We also need time crystals, diamonds that have been reconfigured on a subatomic level in the converter. We can craft these right here, and this might be the thing we need. Maybe, I don't know, but this is all the stuff that we need. And ooh, it looks like you can scan for SAM and make the SAM stuff, which we already have, but that's fine. But to actually make this thing, 250 radio control units, we're going to have to make some more of those. 500 cooling systems, that's not a problem anymore. 100 fuse modular frames, I might have some left over, I'm not really sure, but we're going to get this at least today. Now, I should not have pressed the start on that. No, I can go back, okay. Now, the other things that we can get in here, oh my god. Quantum encoder uses excited photonic matter to produce the most complex of parts, controlling development for the quantum level. Okay, cool. Excited photonic matter. Dark matter residue, dark matter crystals, superposition oscillator. I think this was the thing that I needed for that one hard drive in the middle of a swamp. Neural quantum processor. I'm sorry, what? AI expansions. Power usage 0 to 2,000 megawatts? What does this even do? So does this consume power? Or like, what? I don't know. Okay, but also Mark III blueprints. Makes them just a little bit bigger. I don't know exactly how much bigger. Is that, I think that's 6 by 6 instead of the 5 by 5? I guess I have one over here. Yeah, 6 by 6 instead of 5 by 5. I don't know how useful that would be to have. I don't really think we'd need that, but I don't know, maybe. Also, we have, is this a teleporter? Main portal? Satellite portal? That might be really nice to have. But singularity cells and ballistic warp drives are in this guy. Large amount of force is required for the warp drive to activate, so staking them to rockets. Okay, so it is a missile. Okay. And then to actually get the phase 6 conveyors and fixonium fuel rods. I think you make these with the nuclear stuff because it's a fuel rod after all, but hey, who knows? Anyways, we're going to have to see if we can make 250 time crystals, 250 triangles, and then maybe get up to here. We'll see what we can do, but let's go ahead and get matter conversion started first. Also, it appears my inventory is completely full of garbage right now, but that's actually good because half the things that I need to make more radio control units are currently sitting in my inventory. Anyways, we need circuit boards, we need aluminum casings, we needed some rubber, and some more crystal oscillators. Okay. And we're just going to put 50 of them in there. I don't know how much that's going to make. It's slooped and it's sped up, so hopefully we can make a decent amount of radio control units in a short amount of time. 250, 22.5 per minute. That is like 10 minutes, so that's not so bad. It's going to take me that long to go get the other parts anyway, so that is not a huge concern. Okay, let's also put down a box here, make sure we have enough resource to actually do this. I'm sure it'll be completely fine. Okay, so let's go grab some cooling systems, which it's 500 and they stack to 50. So I am going to have to go run over to the cooling system factory, which should be getting pretty full by now. Yeah, look at that. We are looking pretty good. All right, let's see. Oh, they stack to 100, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cooling systems are done. We're already getting radio control units, and the fuse modular frames, we're just going to have to go head back over to the temporary, that is not really very temporary, fuse modular frame factory, because we have been using this thing for like, what, 10 episodes by now? Yeah, we really need to get that actual factory built up, don't we? Yeah, Well, good news. Once we get those tier 6 conveyors, then that's the first thing I'm doing, because I know we're going to be needing a lot of those, so yeah. And, you know, maybe, depending on how much time I've got this episode, we might end up doing radio control units as well. Although, I will say, I don't have a whole lot of time this episode. I'm cutting this one kind of close, fellas. I'm not going to lie. All right, how many of these do I have left over? 0. Great. Okay, so we're going to have to go grab some more of those. Oh, I have 76 in my inventory. Okay, so maybe we don't. You know, also, I guess while we're waiting, we can go check on the modular engine factory and also the power grid. Is it doing horrible? Oh, God. Okay, yeah, max consumption. Oh, yeah, we're cutting this one kind of close. This is going to be bad, especially since these new machines are going to be taking up a substantial amount of power. Yeah, you know, we may want to do rocket fuel next. Actually, maybe we just do rocket fuel next in general. We save fuse modular frames for 2 episodes from now, and then next episode we do rocket fuel instead. I may need to upgrade my motor factory, or I just ignore the problem and take motors from the box that I put them in over here. And this should be pretty full. Yeah, it should be equalizing. Like, it'll make and consume the exact amount of motor, so I think it should stay at this number. But to be fair, once the heavy modular engines fill up completely, then it will no longer be an issue. And yeah, this guy's over here, and unfortunately, I have decided to make like 5 boxes of these, so that may take a little while for this to fill up, but you know what? I think that's going to be fine. Also, these should be running at nearly full, if not completely full efficiency by now. They are not. Why not? Smart plating is still the problem. I have no idea. Okay, whatever. I'm sure it's completely fine. There's nothing to worry about. Alright, well, looks like we ran out of something, but we got 102. Alright, what did we run out of? Rubber. Interesting. Anyways, I guess now we're just waiting around for radio control units. Ooh, actually, well, no. I don't really have a reason to re-roll any new hard drives yet. I will soon, though, because we're about to get some new recipes available, so that is going to be pretty cool. But we can go ahead and put in the fuse modular frames and the 2, 3, 4, 500 cooling systems required. And now it's just a waiting game. Now, it doesn't tell you how to make these until you probably have the research, so I won't be able to figure that out. But what is a fixite ingot? Produced by reconstructing other metals. Produced by reconstructing other metals on a Jesus Christ. Produced by reconstructing other metals on a molecular level using strange alien matter. Good grief, dude. Anyways, it looks like we'll be using some SAM and probably anything else to make this stuff. I wonder if it's one specific thing or if it's you can choose a type of material and, you know, maybe the higher tier, the better the ingots are. I don't know, but I guess we'll find out once these stupid control units are done. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to sit in the box and we're just going to watch the number go up. Guess what? We ran out of aluminum casings again. Come on, man. Let's just give me the research. I bet I'm going to be needing a bunch of radio control units. Right. Now, we wanted to figure out which recipe we wanted to use. I don't want to use... Actually, I have plenty of computers to go around. This might actually be better. Well, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, and what's the other recipe? Ooh, wait a minute. Actually... Oh, but it's circuit board. You know what? This might be the best recipe out there. You know what? Ooh, okay, so the heat sinks is going to be the problem because my thought process is, remember last episode we talked about putting it over here. Quartz and Caterium. Quartz, Caterium. We would just have to import circuit boards. We already have the quartz over there. The only thing we would need is heat exchangers. And if we're running a train from over here, we might be able to stop by oil, grab some rubber, and bring it over here. Or maybe there's some oil nearby. There is. We've got more oil over here. I could just make another simple rubber factory, make a whole bunch of heat sinks, and then go from there. The issue is aluminum over here. We would have to get it from over here, which... No, we wouldn't. There's bauxite right here. And there's sulfur right here. We could use that for... Oh my god. Okay, you know what? We might end up doing that. We might end up doing that. Ooh. Okay. Not this episode, though. This is a manual crafting for no reason at all episode. We'll think about it for next time, but that's most likely what I'm going to end up doing because that just seems to be super convenient. And yes, my inventory is full of garbage again. No, I'm not going to fix it. All right, but there we go. 250 radio control units. Boom, 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 boom. We are officially in phase 5.
Milestone reached. The converter uses strange alien matter, abbreviated to SAM, to break down and transform materials at their most fundamental levels. I am sure even you can appreciate the power to manipulate atomic bonds. Most importantly, you are now able to locally create Fixite, a highly adaptable synthetic metal, ideal for any kind of construction. It is everything we need to save the day, and perhaps its admirable qualities can inspire you.
So, let me get this straight here. Save the day just wholeheartedly relies on the strange alien matter that we just discovered on this planet. Isn't that a little suspicious? I'm not going to think about it, though, because Ada would strike me down with a bolt of lightning or something. Okay, anyways, let's go take a look at all the new stuff we just got, which I don't even remember what it is. But we can look at this thing to take a look. Fixite ingots, Fixite trigon. That is the first thing to look at. Fixite ingot. Ooh, there is more than one way to make it. You can make it with aluminum, you can make it with deuterium, and you can make it with iron. Okay, that's actually kind of cool. At least in my case, which is the manual crafting case, I'm most likely going to be doing this recipe here because I know I have a box of deuterium ingots sitting all the way over in the deuterium cookwire factory from super long ago. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing to make this, and it is made at 15 per minute, which is kind of slow, so we may want to sloop this and add some overclocks to it. There's going to be a lot of manual crafting this episode if you haven't figured that out by now, but also it is 1 to 3 on the trigons because that is visible right there. Okay, that's pretty cool. That 24 iron actually isn't a horrible recipe either, although it does use a little bit more SAM. I feel like deuterium might just be the best quote-unquote recipe here because it's kind of a balance of, hey look, I have a very high yield deuterium vein just sitting over here doing nothing. Looking at you, which you can run through the water to purify that and make a stupid amount. Plus, also, normal SAM vein, yeah, we may not have enough SAM to do that, so we could maybe even just get away with smelters, but I don't know. Maybe we'll set up a big factory for that. You know, I'm actually tempted to just do that now, but also I don't know how many trigons we're going to need in the future because it looks like they are used for some other things. Biochemical sculptures is one of them, which is water, trigons, and the assembly directory systems, which we only need about 1,000 of those. Okay, we only need about 1,000 of those. Jesus. But it is 1 to 4, so we need 250 of these guys, and I think we've got plenty to go around. So space elevator component number 2 is actually simple. So that's those guys. What about diamonds? A particle accelerator, 20 coal to 1 diamond, 30 per minute, so that is 600 coal per minute. So that is a normal vein with a Mark III full overclock. Not horrible. Wonder what these are actually used for. Those are used to make time crystals, 2 to 1 in a converter. Okay, most interesting. And if we wanted to actually do that, to get this guy this episode, we would need a lot of that. So I may want to just go find a coal vein somewhere. We could, well, no, that's being used. Yeah, I might just want to go find a coal vein somewhere and use it temporarily. All right, time crystals, we did look at those. We did not look at what they were used to make, though. We do not have it, whatever it is. Okay, interesting. Biochemical sculpture, we've seen that. We can scan for SAM. Is there any other ways to use this? Is there any better, there's no better ways to get this part. Oh, wait, what's this? I have a bunch of converter recipes. Oh, wow, you can just transmute things. SAM and sulfur makes limestone. SAM and limestone makes iron. Oh, my God. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Oh, my God, you can just make bauxite. Deuterium to bauxite. I mean, that's pretty good. That might be really... I mean, hear me out, fellas. Hear me out, fellas. We can make a pretty sick radio control unit factory with that. That would be actually kind of cool. I might just do that just to do it. You can... Why would you do that? Oh, you can make uranium too. Wow. And we have something we don't even know what it is yet. Wow. Okay, okay. Also, are these things used in anything eventful? They are, but I don't have it. Huh. Okay, interesting. Now, also, we're going to have new alternates. So, let's go ahead and just look at some of the things that we're probably not going to use. Oh, I don't know, maybe like charcoal and bolted iron plates. and rescan them. Cloudy diamonds? It makes 20 a minute, so that is 240 coal plus a bunch of limestone. 480 limestone makes diamonds. Is that better? I think it is. Leached copper, bolted frame? Yeah, no. Petroleum diamonds? Petroleum coke into diamonds? I'm not sure if that's good either because we'd have to go sacrifice some oil. Hey, what about this? No. Quickwire stator, biocoal infused? Nope. Okay, so I think we're kind of just cycling through a bunch of the older things now. Maybe there's other things that I'm missing out, but we got a couple diamond recipes that I may actually just take now that I'm thinking about it. I don't know. Cloudy diamond seems kind of nice, but I mean, to be fair, I'm just going to go make these manually anyways this episode, so it doesn't really need to be that complicated. I just kind of need a coal vein, so I don't think we're going to take any of those, but that is cool. Good to know. Good to have. That's pretty sick. Also, how do you build that new, what was it, like computer or something? Converter? We're going to need some more radio control units, which hopefully we have a couple extras in here. Okay, looks like we ran out of something. Let me guess. Aluminum casings. Oh, and rubber. Okay, let's go ahead and get started on some temporary factories for producing the trigon and the time crystal. Plus, I'm probably going to have to go gather up a whole bunch of this. 10,000 iron plates. Can my little old factory support that? By the way, at this point, I've just decided this is going to stay here for the rest of the game. So I think we might have to go take all of this and dump it in right now because I don't think we're going to have enough. Can I not like drag these in yet? Are you kidding me? I guess my inventory is just going to be full for the next 10 hours. Okay, good. Let's start with diamonds. We're going to need diamonds. Let's do some diamonds. We need a coal vein and we need a particle accelerator and we need a power pole. Okay. Is there a nearby coal vein to any power that I have? We could do the cloudy diamond recipe off rip because there's a nice setup for it right here. Or if I stop being crazy and just use this pure coal vein over here, let's just do that. I mean, it's temporary. We may, well, actually, I will end up taking it out and swapping it out for something that actually makes sense. But for now, we just need a couple, so let's get this started. Also, this is a pure vein, so I could get away with a Mark II miner if I don't have enough turbo motors. And of course, full overclock this bad boy to get us to 600 a minute, and then we will run this into a temporary particle accelerator. It's in turbo motors. Oof, I'm gonna have to go make more of those. Life would be a lot easier if I just set up factories for this instead of wandering around, you know? We should be able to go build the particle accelerator required for this thing. Okay, also, there's about 43 seconds, so I am actually going to wait the 43 seconds so I can dump all of these iron plates in here. Yeah, so that was 4,800 of it. That was exactly half. Okay, I may have to go steal some from somewhere. Hopefully I have a buffer box, because there's no way I'm waiting around for that long. Alright, hello, particle accelerator. Boink, that will do. Did I just encase a hog in that thing? Absolutely I did. Diamonds, boom, 600 a minute, and then boink, that was easy. Plug this sucker into the power pole right there, and there you go. Okay, cool. That actually doesn't use as much power as I thought it did, so that's pretty good. And it looks like we are keeping up with the demand, so that is good. Now, where's the output? Right here. Let's go ahead and add a box to this guy. We might as well have them in a nice storage container. There we go. Now, time crystals. How did you make those? That was 2-to-1 in the converter, so we need about 500 diamonds. This makes it at 30 a minute, so that is around 18 minutes or so, and that will have all of our diamonds done. Okay, cool. So I guess I will just come back in 18 minutes or so. Step 1 of 2 done. Next one is the trigons, which we need some fixite for, and I think I'm just going to go grab some caterium and mix it up with some sand that I already have on site somewhere, and then we will just turn that into the trigons. Now, we only need 250 trigons. Also, real quick, let me go stop by Aluminum Land and fill my inventory with the outclad aluminum casings. Dump, 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 dump. There you go, and I have some extras in my inventory. Fantastic. Okay, but there we go. That's done. Iron plates, that's going to be a problem. I'm going to have to go find some somewhere. First things first, we're going to need a converter. And you know what? Let's just place it right in the middle of the base. Wow, look at that. Oh my god, look at that thing. Woof. Now that is a machine, if I've ever seen one. Okay. And that's where you make the time crystals. You'll make it in here as well. Okay, sweet. And there's all the transmutation stuff. Looking pretty good. We want this guy, and I want, well, what if I just put 150 in there? So we just need 10, so, oh, that's a lot. 600 Deuterium and 450 SAM. Actually, that's not that bad. Now, the real question is going to be how much power is this going to take? 100 to 400? That's not even that bad. You know, it's times like these that I'm happy I just have a random box of ingots. Alright, in go the Deuterium, in go the SAM. This thing should start spinning up. Oh, it's reanimated, not the fluctuators. Interesting, so I grabbed the wrong components. Now the real question is, do I have a random box of the other piece? And I think the answer is no. Yeah, no, I got a whole lot of none over here. Oof, okay, well, we may have to do a little bit of manual crafting on that. Or maybe if I just have some laying around over here, since I use them for research. I guess we'll find out. Do I just have random stuff? 8. I have 8. But I do have some SAM, so I guess we can use that. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and get this started because I want to see this thing operating. Oh. Okay. Yep, that's not normal at all. Right, but we do have some Fixite ingots, and if I was smart about this, I'd sloop it. You know, a little bit of, oh my god, why is it so, 5,000? Ah, okay, maybe we don't do that. Yeah, let's not. No on the summer sloops. No, wait, no on the power shards, just the summer sloops. That's insane, that's a lot of power. But we do have our ingots now, which is looking good. In theory, it is 1 to 3, I think. Yeah, it is 1 to 3 on the trigons, so we need 250 over 3, which is 85 or something, so we really don't need a whole lot of these. So, you know, we might have enough. Although I do have a feeling we may end up needing those trigons for the actual conveyors themselves. But again, as I said, we don't need a lot of conveyor length. We just need enough to get it to a splitter for now. And yes, if I have to jank my way all the way up, I'm gonna absolutely do it. But also, I guess if we sloop these, we would also get even more out of this. So we might even have enough with just this. Trigon, 1 to 6, and we have 60. So that's 360, that is already enough. Okay, cool. Turns out if you sloop every single step of the way, things get a lot easier. And now I guess the only thing we're doing is waiting on diamonds. Also, I guess while this is crafting, I need to go scrounge around and steal a bunch of iron plates from various factories that produce them. Well, the arounds have been scrounged, and I had a little bit of a not so great idea that I'm gonna do right. You know, we have this recipe right here, and I just so happen to have a bunch of iron ingots in my inventory for some reason. Wonder where those came from. But if I just dump a bunch of those into this extremely overclock and slooped factory right here, we can make 375 per minute, so it'll only take 20 minutes to get all those plates. Plus, I got a bunch of extra plates in my inventory. Plus, I can probably get more plates from other places. Plus, there's a bunch of other factories that still have plates that I can go grab. You know, options are there, so let's just keep dumping all the plates. And I don't think I have any other use for Fixite ingots at the moment, so I might just dump them all into trigons for now. I think that's probably a good idea. And I guess we can probably also set this to start using time crystals, because we are going to need to get that going here. Okay, so let's also go ahead and take a look at our diamonds. We should, in theory, only need 250 to get this going, but I have a feeling that we're going to need some to make the conveyors, because, I mean, just looking at the little thumbnail for those, they look like they're made out of, like, plasma or something, you know, so we're gonna need to probably use some time crystals for those. Plus, it would make sense that a extremely fast belt uses time distortion to move things faster, so, you know, I guess it kind of makes sense, but we need 250. If we have more than that, that's great. If we don't, we're going to have to come back. Okay, we have way more than that. We have 600, and I'm just going to bring those over here because this might be used for other things. Hey, why is this thing on fire? Do they always look like this? Is this normal? Boom, boom, boom. In you go. Hopefully this thing is rather quick. Ooh, 12 per minute. That would take 25-ish, maybe like 22 minutes to make all this. To be fair, we got the power for it. We got, right? Barely, but you know what? It's faux. Yeah, I'm sure it's completely fine. So now, it's just a waiting game, again. Alright, this should be enough. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. And now we're just waiting on the time crystals. Sweet. Now also, if I'm not mistaken, you can craft power shards, I think. I would just need 100 time crystals. Yeah, synthetic power shards. And I assume this is probably the recipe you'd need. And we don't get this from here, do we? We do not. So I think we do actually need to spend the diamonds and power shards here to actually be able to craft this, which I'm actually kind of okay with because it might be nice to be able to craft these synthetically without the power slugs. So we may want to do this, but that will require more diamonds and more time. So it is 1-to-1, and I put 600 in there, and we need 200. So you know what? You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to get the synthetic power shards, and we're going to see how you make those. Please be cheap.
Research completed. Synthetic power shard recipe unlocked. Exchanging regular exercise and filtered fresh air with automation is just the kind of progress Fixite likes to see.
Yeah. That's it? That's all you had to say? Okay. Power shard. How does one? Oh my god. Okay, so that's a little bit more expensive than I thought. We need excited photonic matter. No idea how to make that. Formed in the converter by inducing intense photon interactions through exposure to SAM in a higher energy environment. That's great, dude. I don't know how to make that. But we also need some quartz crystals, dark matter residue, which we might be able to make from the dark matter residue, because this is like the dark matter crystal, maybe? Not sure, but also then we do need some time crystals. Okay, so we can't really make these right now, but we can make them later. Okay, now, there is one thing that I'd like to do, and since we got a couple new hard drive recipes, I'd like to just fly out here and grab some of the hard drives in this kind of scan area, because I know that we saw a whole bunch when we were working on the heat sinks for the cooling systems. There's 11 of them out there. I remember seeing like 3, so we may as well just go grab some in the meantime while we're just waiting around. Well, first one's first, let's get the one that is right next to the oil factory. Also, there appears to be one of those guys there. Okay, you know what? We're trying it again. Off goes the equipment. Where is my little, like, berry thingies? These guys. I think you're supposed to get one of these. I don't actually know what I'm doing. I think you have to put it in your hand and then maybe, like, drop it. What did this one actually need? 90 megawatts? I'm not going to make the generators thing. Nope, let's just go run a power pole from over here. There we go. Hard drive number 1 of the day. Alright, look. I'm doing everything right. I got nothing on me. I got a berry in my hand. I'm creeping up, crouched down. Here, look. There you go. Alright, my bad, man. Oh, wait. Oh, let's go! Lizard doggo. Doggo with long name. We're gonna name him, Loggy. I have no idea why, but we're naming him Loggy. Hello, Loggy. You got anything? No? You want another berry? I don't want this one. There you go, you can have that. No? Okay. I don't want you to get lost. Are you, like, on the map or something? How do I make him, like, sit? Can I make him sit? Well, I don't want to lose him, you know? Well, you know what? Actually, I got an idea. I don't know if they teleport or anything, but I'm just gonna... you know, we're just gonna kind of... Look, man. I feel only slightly bad for doing this, but, like, I don't want to lose you, so we're just gonna kind of... You know, we're just gonna kind of put you in a box. Okay. Alright, have fun living in your little pond. I feel only slightly bad for doing this. I'll be back for you, probably. Don't let me forget about Loggy. Next one looks to be down in this crevasse here. Looks like another low-level one because of all the materials, so hopefully it's easy to open. 60 megawatts, that is only slightly inconvenient. And there is the second one of the day. Alright, now I don't have any more marked on the map, but I guess we could get the scanner out because there appears to be one this way. I haven't been over this way very much, but that's fine. And it is literally right here. That was easy. Okay. And this one takes nothing. Sweet. I think that will probably do it. Yeah, I have a feeling our diamonds are done by now, so... let's just go ahead and head back. But we'll grab the Sommer Sloop first. Alright, 372 time crystals. We are looking good. Let's go ahead and unlock peak efficiency, figure out how to craft these belts. Hopefully it's not super expensive, but then again, we only need just a little bit of length on those. There we go. Tier 6 belts. That was totally worth doing.
Milestone reached. After close scrutiny, 2 problems were identified in Mark V conveyor belts. The first was the belt part, so force fields have been implemented in the Mark VI instead, to maximize transfer speeds. The second problem is inefficient pioneers, but sadly no remedy is available for this severe impediment. Yet.
Yeah, I'm getting replaced, bro. It's over for me. Okay, but we have them. Let's see, what else did we get with that? We unlocked Fixonium and Fixonium Rod. So I'm actually curious what these are. So, okay, so you need plutonium waste, singularity cells, and dark matter residue to make a Fixonium, and you need 2 fixonium, some trigons, some photonic matter, and a couple of control rods to make the fixonium fuel rod, which that is the only way to make it. So it would seem. Interesting. So I guess the real question is, this is how you, I guess, recycle the plutonium waste, which makes sense. Which I think you get this from burning the plutonium fuel rods. And I'm not sure if there's like fixonium waste, but I mean, I guess we'll find out when we inevitably do it, because I think it's a full recycle chain, so I might just give it a try, you know? Might as well. Okay, and now the other 2 things that we got are the next tier of belt. Okay, there you go. Mark 6 belts. It is quite literally just trigons and just time crystals. Absolutely perfect. I'm going to place a long one of these just to see what it looks like. Oh my god. It is like holographic and stuff. That looks sick. Whoa. And man, that thing is fast. I don't think I can run against it. I think it's just going to beat me. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, this thing is quick. But yeah, look at that. Looking sick. It's got like an orange little thing. I wonder if you paint these different, if it like changes color. Ooh, let me take a look. What if we did this one? Oh my god, the force field changes color, dude. What? Oof. Oof. That's sick. May have to change the color of those if I end up using a bunch of these somewhere, but that's pretty sick. All right, well, you know what? We got our Mark 6 conveyor belts. We are now able to extract pure nodes at full efficiency. We can now start to do some real endgame projects. So I think the first 2 things that we're going to be doing is most likely the first one, power. I think we're going to straight up upgrade to rocket fuel because we're going to need the extra power to power, you know, the 40 fuse modular frames we're going to be using. Plus, at some point, I'd like to do uranium as well, and theoretically the full uranium loop, if that is actually what that is. So that's how we're going to get our second piece of power. But I think we're going to do rocket fuel first. We'll probably end up doing that next episode. We're just going to upgrade this entire plant over here to make, hopefully, an excessive amount of power. And then, episode after that, we are going to be doing the fuse modular frames at 40 per minute. That is going to be a huge undertaking. The amount of bauxite and aluminum I'm going to have to build is going to drive me crazy, but at least we know what we're doing. And you know what? Unfortunately, that is going to be it for this episode. I did not have a whole lot of time to record this. As of right now, I need to get this video out in like less than a day, so I don't have a whole lot of time to get this ready. So I think we're gonna have to end it here. We didn't get a whole lot done in the grand scheme of things, but we did get a very key component to being able to make some advanced factories. That's going to be it for this episode. Next time we are, of course, going to be doing the rocket fuel power plant with the new conveyor belts if we do so need to. Goodbye.